Okay, maybe it's not dead yet, but it could be. I was originally going to have my comeback post on this channel be a retrospective, but Ranger fans, we need to talk. There are huge rumours swirling that Disney Plus is in serious talks to develop a new Power Rangers series. Now, before you start celebrating or breaking out your old Megazords, hold on. Because while this sounds exciting on paper, there are some major red flags that we need to address. For one, it looks like Percy Jackson and the Olympians creatives Jon Steinberg and Dan Schatz are rumoured to be the showrunners, and honestly, that might be a huge mistake for the franchise. Oh, and if this revival attempt fails again, we might be looking at a future where Power Rangers is nothing more than a nostalgic, merch-peddling 90s relic. So let's break it all down and figure out the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So here's what we know. Disney Plus is apparently in discussions to develop a brand new Power Rangers series alongside Hasbro. Now this could mean a lot of things, but we are probably talking about a full-blown reboot, maybe something entirely original, like a more grounded or serialized take. Honestly, Disney is throwing its hat back in the ring, and that is surprising. For those who don't remember, Disney actually owned the franchise from 2002 to 2010, and produced seasons like Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, and Mystic Force. But they ultimately dumped it back to Saban when they realised it wasn't the cash cow they'd hoped for. Now here's where things get even messier. While Disney's production values and massive platform could breathe well-needed new life into the franchise, Power Rangers has struggled with inconsistent storytelling and tone for years. If this project flops, it could very well bury the brand as marketable IP. Let's talk about the showrunners for a moment, Jon Steinberg and Dan Schatz. You might recognise them as the creative duo behind Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Disney Plus, which is a solid and enjoyable YA fantasy series. But here's the problem, they're new guys on the block. They have very little priors, and the only stuff they do have shows that they can specialise in mythology-based adventure with a heavy dose of character drama, which is fine for Percy Jackson. But Power Rangers is a different beast. The franchise needs action-heavy, fast-paced storytelling with clear and concise stakes, not slow-burn character arcs and overly complicated world-building. But this is all if children's attention is still what we're trying to capture. Because who knows, it could be another one of those Hollywood's mature reboots that strips away all the fun and campy charm that make the original series iconic. But you want to know my biggest fear? It's if this reboot fails, and we could be looking at a future where Power Rangers is nothing more than a 90s nostalgia bait merchandise machine. I mean, all the previous companies who have owned the rights have been focused on the toy sales. Just think about it, if the show tanks, Hasbro could easily relegate the franchise to a nostalgic IP that only makes money off of hardcore fans buying retro figures, Lightning Collection toys, and themed apparel. No new shows, no fresh universes, just re-releases of the same 90s Mighty Morphin dribble over and over again. And if you think that sounds far-fetched, just look at what happened to Thunderbirds. When the franchise lost its footing, it became little more than a collector-driven nostalgia brand, after its several reboot attempts. Alright, let's take a step back for a second because there are definitely some red flags, but there are also some real reasons to be optimistic and excited about this potential Power Rangers reboot. Neo-Disney. Now this phrase comes from the fact that eventually Saban took Power Rangers back over and gave us the Neo-Saban era of Power Rangers, his Power Rangers again. And if we could refresh what the original Disney era Power Rangers captured, this would be incredible for the franchise. In my personal opinion, and I know a lot of my friends who still love the IP of Power Rangers, we all believe that the Disney era of Power Rangers is by far the best Power Rangers era. This was back when Disney was focused well heavily into the toy profits and not into the budgets of the series. But the new deal seems like it would take a more Doctor Who inspired approach, where Hasbro would still be producing the series and it would be co-funded with the exclusivity rights going to Disney+. This would increase budgets, but also ultimately retain some creative control on both parts. This has been working incredibly well for Doctor Who recently, and it really does bode well for Power Rangers. And the last thing, the one thing that I think a lot of Power Rangers fans who have been watching since the 90s want, is not a complete overhaul of the target audience, but introducing some more adult themes that would have been banned in the pre-streaming era of Power Rangers. And I think this is the #1 reason why we should still be excited for at least the possibility of the Neo-Disney era of Power Rangers. So what do you think? Are you excited about the Disney Plus rumours, or are you worried this could be another misstep for Power Rangers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and hey guys, if you want more Power Rangers, go over to Nate at Filmform Studios. He's my guy on all things tokusatsu. Anyway, until next time, may the power protect you.